Hello everyone, and welcome back. In today's video, we're going to talk about LooksRare. Now, LooksRare did what's called a vampire attack on OpenSea, and what that essentially means is they airdropped OpenSea users their token with the hopes that it would attract OpenSea users to their NFT marketplace. Now, before this, there had already been a ton of people in the crypto industry calling for an OpenSea competitor, and from my understanding, the main reason for this is that OpenSea has indicated that they really don't want to do a token. So I'm going to cover the differences between the LooksRare platform and OpenSea and also the Looks token, but before that, I know the biggest question on everyone's mind is, did I receive the airdrop? So to help you figure that out, I'm going to link below their official docs, but you can see here there were essentially 10 tiers of airdrops for the Looks token, and it really depended on how much ETH volume you did on OpenSea basically over the last 6 months. So you can see here that if one of your addresses had a total ETH volume for NFTs over 1,000 ETH, you would be entitled to 10,000 Looks tokens. And I believe Looks is trading at about $3 now, so it's about a $30,000 airdrop at the time of recording this video. Now, of course, most people didn't transact over 1,000 ETH in NFTs, which is totally fine. So you can check out this link below to see how much you would be entitled to. And also you can go to the LooksRare website, which I will link below, to see if you have a claim for an airdrop. With that said, let's talk about some of the differences with LooksRare. Well, the main key difference here is that, of course, there is a LooksRare token. Now, that allows LooksRare to actually incentivize NFT swap volume on their platform, which is very fascinating. Basically, this is like liquidity mining for NFTs. And in addition to that, the protocol takes a 2% fee from every swap, which goes back to Looks stakers. Now, for reference, 2% does sound high on LooksRare, but actually OpenSea charges 2.5%, so it's a bit lower there. Now, as far as other big changes, there's one really cool feature. I'll just click collections here so you can see, and I'll go over to Meebits. And one of the tools they enabled is they allow users to actually bid on any piece on the entire collection. So you can make a collection offer that will essentially allow anyone to accept your offer. So if you don't care which piece you get, you just want one item in this collection, you can make a collection offer, which I think is a pretty cool feature, and you can see that here. So on the platform here, you can see they list the floor at 3.75 ETH. So maybe I only want to spend 3.5 ETH, and if I had the WETH in this account, I could just make an offer, and any Meebits holder on this platform could accept that, and I would be taking on their Meebit. Now, I think this is a really cool feature, and I wouldn't be surprised if OpenSea adopts it as well, since so many NFT buyers are really just speculating on floor prices. I think it's a really cool feature. Now, the other big change, and you can see they advertise this front and center on their homepage, is that royalties are paid out instantly to NFT creators. Now, I think that's really cool. One of the nice things about blockchains is that a lot of things can be automated, whereas with OpenSea, I think it takes up to a week for creators to receive payments for their NFTs, but if you sell an NFT on LooksRare and you're a creator, you get those royalties immediately. I do think it's possible this could attract creators to the LooksRare platform. I mean, this is just clearly a better system, but of course, LooksRare has to do the job of attracting buyers to the market, and we need to see a lot of NFT swap volume on the platform. So if you receive the airdrop and are wondering what to do with it, I think it's helpful to go to the rewards tab just to see what some of your options look like. So there are three main options. The first is to single stake the Looks token, and that comes out to currently a 990% APR. Now, of course, this will be very variable, and it's very high at the start, but I do expect that to go down. Now, about half of this APR comes from Looks inflation. Basically, they're paying users to lock up their token, and the other half comes from that 2% swap fee from the platform. So if I hover over this question mark here, you can see the breakdown. I'll get into it in just a minute, but they're actually incentivizing NFT activity on the platform now, which is why the WETH APR is so high. So you're really getting quite a bit of rewards here for staking Looks. Now, the second option is you can be a Uni V2 liquidity provider, and it looks like they're incentivizing that with about a 961% APR right now. Now, of course, the single staked option is paying about the same, but perhaps you don't want full exposure to the Looks token and you want to dampen the Looks volatility by pairing it with ETH, so this might be a good option for you. Now, this APR will of course go down as rewards go down and more people enter this, but it's going to be a little more consistent than the single staking APR because it's not dependent on all of that NFT swap volume which they're incentivizing right now. Now, if you didn't receive the Looks airdrop, you do have one other option to receive the Looks token without buying it. And as I mentioned before, they're actually incentivizing NFT swaps on the platform. So this is also on the rewards tab. And you can see here that in this 24-hour cycle, these all happen in one-day cycles, they have about 3 million looks of incentives ready to distribute to NFT swappers. So if the collection is eligible on the LooksRare platform, they're actually incentivizing users to buy and sell NFTs, which is leading to a ton of NFT swap volume on the platform. Now, as I mentioned, in this 24-hour period, they've allocated about 3 million looks for distribution. And if looks is trading at about $3, that's about $9 million of incentives here that will be distributed pro rata to NFT swappers. Now, this of course leads to a lot of different users just buying and selling NFTs to themselves to different addresses. So a lot of the swap volume on this platform is not organic right now, and you have to keep that in mind. The good news is there is that 2% fee on each purchase on the platform, and all of that goes back to Looks stakers, and that's part of the reason why the WETH APR was so high for single staking Looks. Now, just before getting into some brief analytics, I did just want to show you the UI briefly. You can see here's a list of collections. If I just click into the Meebits collection, we can see what that looks like. One helpful thing here is you can see this badge here means that this collection is earning trading rewards. So if you swap in the Meebits collection, you're going to be eligible for those rewards. And if we scroll down, you can see it's fairly similar to OpenSea. They have all of the attributes here on the left that you can sort by, and you can kind of scroll through and see if there's any Meebits that you like. So let's jump into some of the analytics on Nansen. Jumping right into it, I think this dashboard is really interesting because you can see how popular LooksRare actually is. You can see it actually takes up the top 2 slots for hot contracts. These are the most popular smart contracts on Ethereum. And you can see the airdrop contract and the single staking contract are the most popular right now. So I have filtered this section just to remove the highest balance accounts. So we're only looking at really individual users and real accounts. And what's interesting here is that one of the first users is Alameda. So what that basically tells us here is that Alameda was probably hired to market make this token, which is pretty common, of course, in this space. Alameda is just one of several market makers. Now, the other important thing to note is if you recall from the airdrop section, the maximum airdrop a user could receive was about 10,000 Looks tokens. So it's really interesting here to see all of the users that actually have accrued more Looks tokens than 10,000. What that essentially means is they ended up purchasing this token on the open market. Now, if we scroll down to top transactions here just below, we can see one of the biggest transactions was Alameda depositing to Huobi about 4.1 million tokens, which is fascinating. So of course, they're probably doing that to help market make the token, which is of course to be expected. In addition, you can see they sent some of the Looks token to FTX, and they're really just spreading it out there to help them market make the token. Now, if we go over to the holders tab here, very fascinating to see how many addresses actually have this token already. It's only been out for about a day, but there's already 20,000 users that have claimed this token, which is pretty wild. Now, just building off of Nansen a bit, you can see this Dune analytics dashboard, which I will link below, that has some interesting metrics. For one, you can see that about 45% of eligible addresses claimed, so just an interesting fact to note there. So I think LooksRare is very interesting. I think it's a bit early to say if they'll succeed in displacing OpenSea or even taking a share of OpenSea's volume, but I think they're doing a good job of trying. We haven't really ever seen this NFT liquidity mining before that LooksRare is pioneering, so very interested to track that progress and see how it actually does and see if it actually brings value to the LooksRare platform as opposed to just allowing users to do parasitic swaps that aren't really adding much. Hopefully you got a nice Looks airdrop, and hopefully this helped you decide what to do with your tokens. With that said, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like it, and if you haven't yet done so, please subscribe. Thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.